So there's my Tilly, and I want to tell you a little bit about her. So she's been now with me, I think 2 years. I think that's about it. Anyhow, so it takes a while for horses to get used to new jobs. And when I bought her, she had the same owner. I don't know if she was born there. I know she had gone out for training and some stuff, but you know, one person, and she had her sisters and the other horses pretty much all her life. I bought her, she was 15. She came here. I was at another place first. She was a little kooky there and got attached to other horses. Came here, did the same thing. And she had high anxiety. She spooked at everything. There were goats and stuff. Over here you can't see them, but they were back there. Those freaked her out. The noises freaked her out. There were guns going off. All sorts of stuff goes on here because we're out in farmland, and then the tractors and all that stuff. But she was pretty good with that, except she hated that round pen. It's red, remember? They see shades. And so she hated that. And she used to run around in her stall. Anytime I took a horse away from her, she would get anxious and go nuts. And now, after I've worked with her, she's a good girl. And she's waiting to come out now. She used to paw all the time when she wanted something. Now she's much better. It's not completely gone at feeding time. She doesn't touch the ground, but she puts her foot up in the air. And now she stands for long periods of time, which she couldn't do. And so she's much, much better. But even with me being a trainer, it took me 2 years with her because she's kind of high-spirited, high anxiety. And I'll show you how she is on the trail now, too. And then I'll try to put a link of what she was previously like out there by herself, because they rode her mostly in groups, not alone. I took her and I was like, I ride alone. You got to learn to ride alone. But I knew 15 years she had been with other horses on the trail, so it was going to make her nervous. So now she's quite good. She's still a mare and will still look for things. She's highly intelligent. And why I'm telling you this is it just takes time. You try to buy a horse you can work with, something you can handle, but no, when you take that horse home, unless it's traveled a lot, because horses that travel a lot adjust easier. But if it hasn't, like her, she had one owner, I knew it was going to take time. You just knew it. So you got to give them time if you want to make a great horse. It is not magic, but it is magical once you get the trust from them and you build confidence in them. Yes, it becomes great. But in the beginning, it can be horrible. It can be so bad you're thinking this is never going to get better. Are they ever going to understand? You might need the help of a trainer, right, Tilly? You might need to try some different things and see what works for your horse. See, now she's just a love, right? I mean, she was always a sweet horse, but so you might have to do some things like tying them up for hours, things you don't want to do, but it'll make them a better horse. So just know it takes time. This is not magic. You try to get something you can handle, something you can work with, and I like a challenge, so I really liked her. And then, you know, take the time. If you're going to ride alone, they got to learn to go alone. If it was a follower horse, or you buy one that already rides alone, it's up to you. But they'll pretty much do anything for you once they understand. But, you know, if they've been allowed to have some bad behaviors with other owners, and sometimes, you know, people don't know they're giving them bad behaviors, then you're going to have to work through those things. And that part is very hard. And sometimes you don't know until you get them home and you're like, oh, doesn't stand still in the cross ties. Or maybe it's never been in the cross ties. So things of that nature, you got to give them time. So here we are. She's just trying to see what I got, right? Trying to see what I got. So just remember, when you get a new horse, it's not going to be like your old horse. She's not like my old horse at all. And you got to give them time, get them to trust you, get them to understand you, because you're going to do things totally different than the previous people did. You're going to want them probably to behave different than the other people did. And so you got to teach them that. These guys get passed around, right? Not her, but many horses get passed around all the time. And a lot of times it's not their fault. People do things to them. People scare them. People give them bad behaviors. People spoil them. People run them home. and then they become barn sour. I've seen people do crazy. I've seen people running off the trail, run to their trailer. I was like, oh, the day they go to sell those horses, the new people get them, won't know that, and then the horses will be galloping to the trailer and they'll be freaking out. So don't teach your horse bad behaviors. Teach them good behaviors, and they will respect you for it, and they will really love you for it. They are looking for leaders. They have their own friends. They don't need you as a friend. You can be their friend, but you want to be their leader, right? You want to give mommy a kiss? And that's Tilly. All right, let's go out. Hi, Gaye DeRusso, the Majestic rider. So I haven't shown you her in a while. This is Tilly. And she's my horse that I made the video about going out alone, and an anxious horse and a spooky horse, because she was all those things and hadn't been ridden alone, and she was 15 when I got her. So I want you to see it takes time, and it takes the time it takes for them to get a hold of their new job and understand what they're supposed to do. But see, right now I'm riding her with one hand. She wants to go over the Molly mule. You want to see her? See if she hates you like she hated Sarah or not. The mule didn't like Sarah. So this is her being brave. She's going up to a mule, okay? And Tilly's not very brave, so the mule's like, come on, Tilly. So we're neck reining her. She's gotten much braver and much better coming out here alone. Again, it's not her favorite thing. She'd much prefer to have another horse with her. But if you go back to that first video, and I'll try to remember to put a link, you'll see she was kind of crazy. So the horses can come around. It just takes time, and they got to learn their job, what they're supposed to do. Or she just gates and then she paces also when she's loose, and you just saw her trip. So she's not as sure-footed as the trotty ones, and many walking horses keep their feet low to the ground. She does, and so she does hit some sinks with her feet. But see how calm she is? So now we're going to work on cantering a little bit, but I don't have my GoPro and I don't want to break my phone. So we're going to put you away, and I'll try to put you back on later. Okay, so we're heading back home. I'm just showing you she can be on a loose rein. She can be trippy, so I don't want to ride her on a loose rein. This is just to show you she's not very anxious anymore. She can have her moments. She's still Tilly, but she's so much calmer now. Even though she's fixed from me doing this. What would happen if I gave her like 2-3 months off? She might go through the whole process again, but it might not take as long. But before, if I was facing home, which I am now, she would never stand here still by herself. She's wanted to get out of here and get home. But now she's like, I don't really want to go home because Gaye rides me more there. So let's just take our time. So you can make them much better, but you got to put in the time, the effort, and you got to make sure they understand the point. Okay? But for an anxious horse, she's doing great. Okay, so this is another day. I wanted to show you a little bit more about Tilly. So she came out here, and we didn't gate at all. She just walked completely slow. So I didn't push her because that was the goal in the beginning when she was anxious and spooky, was to just walk out here relaxed and look around. So we are headed home. And if you look back at her video, you'll see what a nut job she used to be out here by herself. We were completely alone. Tail. Nobody's here. And I'm hardly holding on. Okay. Now she's walking a little faster than she did out. She kind of walked out like a slug. But I didn't push her or anything because she was trying to do the right thing. And when she finally goes slow, and that's what I've been trying to get her to do, is be slow and relaxed, I'm not going to then be like, no, that's not good enough. Now you have to go a little faster. So I like to move out, so she's walking home with a little bit more energy, which I like. Now she's stopping because she's always looking for danger, because that's what anxious horses do. But now she feels more comfortable being with just me. Remember, I've had her a couple of years, I don't know, 2-3 years. And so she didn't know me. She hadn't ridden alone, so she didn't know she could trust me if I would keep her safe or not. See, she's cautious. She's looking at something over there. And steering with my legs, because I'm riding one-handed, so I can do this. But now she's easy. she trusts me more. And so now she's much more relaxed and doing these things for me. This is just her flat walk. Again, this is still relaxed for her because she used to be running at this point. So she doesn't like the woods so much, and she has a little problem with her vision, so all that makes it harder for her. So she sped up going up the hill, but that's it. She's back to calm. So all those people who have anxious, spooky, goofy horses, it takes time. It takes a lot of work. But if that's what you bought, you can work with it, and it'll get better if you do those right things. But you gotta, I work with her every day doing stuff. She does all the desensitizing with the other horses, so she don't care about any of that. She just cares that there might be something in the woods that might eat her. But if a bike or something comes, she's not worried about those things at all. So she's cautious, she's a mare. She's not super brave unless she's behind somebody or, she's with me. She's doing quite well. And she'll lead or she'll follow, but she is a natural follower. And because she had done that all her life, it made her very nervous to be out here by herself. But now, look, she's doing it quite well. Okay, so don't give up hope. You can do it if you want it. If you don't want it, then you just buy another horse and someone else will work on it. Because she's speeding up, and then look, she slowed herself down, but now she's going to go back to fast because now we're through it. So some geldings will do that too. They're smart. She likes me. She doesn't want to hurt me. She's just having an anxiety attack here.